I read that some foundries are negotiating for long-term deals and non-refundable prepayments. Do you agree that the chip shortage has significantly increased the foundry's bargaining power?
Your observation is right. And here you see the reactions of the companies to the chip shortage, which are completely different from the governments, because to understand why some of the responsibilities are now shifting to the customers, it is very helpful to remember that this is not the first chip shortage, that the semiconductor market is very cyclical. Like, one reason for these up and downs is based on the high capital intensiveness, as I mentioned before, that there is a need for a fab to have a constantly high utilization rate to amortize those very high investment costs. So we are talking about at least 80% utilization rates. And in the last 2 years, they were even higher. So when the demand increases, as we saw in the last 2 years, foundries don't have any spare fabrication capacity to flexibly increase production because they are already working at their maximum. They are working 24/7. And even when the demand exceeds supply, as it happened before, they are still very hesitant to invest in additional capacity because of this high capital intensiveness, because they are afraid that a sudden increase might be followed by a sudden decrease, as it also happened before. So a new fab expansion that has a very low utilization rate is something that they do not want because it's not economically feasible. But now, if they can negotiate long-term agreements and prepayments from their customers, as it is happening right now, they have the guarantee that the new capacity will be utilized and already is paid for. So the ongoing shortages led to, as you said, even more collaboration, even closer collaboration of a different kind, and in turn, of course, to more bargaining power of the foundries, because the customers want to make sure that their demand will be covered and then they get their chips. But I think one limitation maybe to this, these agreements are no solution to guarantee to avoid future shortages, because as I already explained, you can see that they will also work at very high utilization rates, because otherwise it wouldn't be economically feasible. So it only covers the current demand customers need to get covered. But these agreements, as I pointed out, again, make sure from a fab perspective that their new capacity is highly utilized. So in case of a sudden increase again, there will be again no spare capacity. So as long as fabs, and now we are coming back to kind of the policy perspective, as long as fabs are not incentivized to have more spare capacity in order to be more flexible and resilient when it comes to external shocks or more demand, this problem will stay. And additionally, and you already said that as well, capacity expansions take a few years to come online. So if we decide now to expand a fab or build a new one, that's not a short-term solution. We have to wait for these fabs to come online for at least 2 years. And then if they're already pre-booked, there's no flexibility at all.
As you mentioned, semiconductor market is cyclical and shortages have happened before. Then why is this one lasting for so long, and how is it different from previous shortages?
I think the main point is, one, the duration of the shortage, that it's not something that was happening like for half a year and then there was like a sudden increase in decrease in demand and everyone went on as before. And the second thing I think is that there's a constant high demand in all the end markets. And you can see like chips are the backbone of our society and we get digitalized every day a little bit more. And especially due to COVID, everyone relies on digital technologies. But also if you look, for example, at the automotive market, you can see that there are different kind of niche markets. They were niche markets before. They already relied on a lot of semiconductors, but their need increases also if you look at data centers or IoT. So there are a lot of different end markets, which are all heavily reliant on semiconductors, and the demand increases steadily. So that's the main reason why it's not that easy that it will go away soon because the demand won't go away soon. So I would say that this is the main reason, and like it's an international problem in a transnational value chain. There's no country which does not have like a more digitalized society.